how can a mechanic be a 7-star mechanic? How can a caterer be a 7-star caterer? How can a banker be a 7-star banker? So the framework are based on principles that anyone can apply.
Okay, now let's see the recommended 7 stars in this book. Interesting stuff, really. Dimension number 1. Sorry, the recommended 7 dimensions. To be a 7-star. Dimension number 1. Excuse me. The meaning dimension. 2, the mindset dimension. 3, the cognitive dimension. 4, the domain dimension. 5, the emotional dimension. 6, the political dimension. 7, the spiritual dimension. Let's run through a bit. I'm going to read to you a part that stuck out for me, particularly, but let's run through. You are saying here that the man or woman who wants to attain 7-star performance level must grasp the meaning dimension, must find meaning.
Yes.
To whatever is doing.
So that is very foundational. So the dimensions, I also depicted them in a frame, in a building frame. So the foundational one consists of the meaning and mindset, and we then have the columns, where you have the cognitive. Okay. You have the cognitive, you have the domain, and the emotional. Then you have the beam, the political dimension, and the last one, the roof, is the spiritual dimension.
Okay. So, right at the base, if I want to become a 7-star performer, first and foremost, I must sort out meaning
and
mindsets in my work.
Without those two, you can't be a 7-star.
Explain that to me. So, let's deal with those two alone.
So for meaning simply means, let me just make it very simple. There's difference between your job, career, and calling.
That was where that's where I told you I wanted to read to you that I liked. That's where I said I liked. I really liked. That's where I said I really liked that I will read to you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you want to read it?
Yeah. Okay. You go ahead. Explain.
Okay. The question is, for you to be a 7-star, you need to work in your area of calling.
Your area of calling. And you distinguished between
a
job,
a career, and your calling.
So a job is different from a career.
A job is different from a career, and so a job simply means what you do to pay your bills.
Earns you money.
Earns you money.
Most of us have jobs.
So most of us have jobs. So after a while, when you build some level of experience and exposure in that job, for instance, maybe you now have 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, you're now building a career.
Okay.
So people now call you maybe an experienced professional. Does not mean you love the job. So most people that have a career, maybe be it as a banker or as an engineer, they have experience on the job. They might not even be very good at it, but they built a career in their profession.
So a job is a subset of a career.
Yes, a job is.
You can have many jobs.
Yes. So
within a career.
You could see people today, they are bankers. Tomorrow, they are in event planning. Another day, they are in oil and gas. They are having jobs just to pay their bills. But if you now build that job over a certain period of time, above 10 years, you are building a career in that field.
Okay.
But your calling is really where you should be able to connect your passion, your talent, your skill set, your values, and the environment.
Okay.
So your calling is something that you love to do. So for you to really discover your calling, really, you need to really understand your passion, your talent, your skill set, your values, and even align it with your environment. Because, for instance, there will be some kind of calling that you can't really do well in Nigeria. Or there will be some calling that you will do better in Nigeria than going to Canada, for instance. So you need to really discover your calling. And you need to also work, I said in the book, you need to work according to your genetic advantage.
So you've got to look at your genetic advantage too.
Yeah, so you need to understand that, okay, what am I very good at doing? And
how am I crafted?
Yes, how are you crafted?
So that's what you mean by meaning?
Yes, that's what I mean by meaning.
So to be a 7-star professional, I must find meaning
Yes, you
in
must
my
find
work.
meaning in your work,
Or rather, I must find work consistent with my
your meaning.
meaning,
So it's more of purpose alignment.
alignment.
It's more of purpose alignment that really, what am I really called to do?
So most of us are just on jobs, really.
Yeah, so most people have built career. I will say that, okay, maybe young people are on jobs. So maybe after some years, you now build a career in a particular field.
Okay.
Does not mean you are good at it. Does
Okay.
not mean you are a 7-star. But
And it doesn't mean that is what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes, correct. So we've seen a lot of people that study maybe law in school. They're not supposed to be a lawyer. But because they've spent 5 years in school, they're not practicing law or they're practicing engineering or medicine. But really, they're just doing a job. Later on, they can build a career, but that's not their area of calling.
Deji, that's one of the scariest things I've ever had. It's really scary. So I've built a career over many years, but it's the wrong career. It's the wrong work or whatever
Yes,
it
it's
is
the
for
wrong
you.
work, yeah.
You wasted a lot of time.
But it's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. Really, you could still, and that is why you could still combine some things and align it to your area of calling. So let's assume that somebody is supposed to be a footballer,
Yeah.
for instance. But you're already 40, you can't be a footballer again. But you can now go into, let's say, football management, football agents, or maybe you're supposed to be into music, for instance, or you're supposed to be into event management. So you could see how you could merge your skill set you've built over the years, because really, when you're in a career, you're building some kind of skill sets that could be transferable. We call them the transferable skill sets, that you could also say transfer even to your area of calling.
Are we living in an environment where most of us have been set up never to attain the 7-star performance level? Is that the truth?
Yes, our environment, I will not say totally yes. I also say there is area of parenting.
Yeah, but I say this because if I'm supposed to do a work that is consistent with my meaning, with my calling, what I've observed in our environment is a lot of children are raised by parents and taught by teachers to go in particular direction, like, okay, study your book, get best grades, find a nice job, and that's it.
True.
Although things are changing a little bit now, you know.
It's changing.
There was a time when if a kid wants to play football, the parents would say, no, don't play football, you're wasting your time. You know, go and study your book and all that.
True, true. So what I would say to that is parenting has a very big role to play in defining a child's meaning. And that is why it's always good to expose your kids to a lot of things when they are young. People could dabble when they are young, but as they grow older, they should define it.
Okay.
And that is why it's also very important where schools should have good, proper counseling departments.
Guidance and counseling.
And teachers should be able to also quickly define a child's area of focus in life.
Deji, that's just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to your book. It's really loaded, and you know, personally, it helped me a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
Thank you very much for writing this, and I hope people are going to. I'm sure people are going to enjoy reading this.
Okay.
Thank you. We don't have so much time. We have to stop here now. The 7 dimensions of a 7-star professional. Thank you, Deji. Thanks for joining us on Channels Book Club.
Thank you.
The 2020 edition of the biggest literary prize in Africa, the Nigeria Prize for Literature, sponsored by the Nigeria Liquefied and Natural Gas Company, NLNG, is on. Entries are being received for prose novels. If your book is prose and was published after January 2016, visit www.nigeriannlng.com to get all the information you need to throw your hat in the ring. The closing date is March 31st, 2020. And the big prize is $100,000. That's a lot of money. This is where we have to end the show today. As always, we'll be delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.